Ekene had always dreamed of a better life for his family, but it seemed like those dreams would forever be out of reach. However, on that fateful morning, his luck changed when he learned he had won the village lottery. The announcement echoed in his ears as villagers rushed to congratulate him. His heart raced with excitement as he envisioned new opportunities, a house with real walls, a proper school for his children, and perhaps even a trip to the city. With the money, he could finally escape the grip of poverty that clung to him like a shadow. As Ekene basked in the glory of his newfound fortune, he felt the pressure of expectations weighing on him. His wife Ada beamed with joy, already dreaming about how they could improve their lives. However, amidst the celebrations, a nagging thought crept into Ekene's mind. What if he didn't truly deserve this fortune? What if it all went wrong? The joyous celebration quickly turned into a nightmare when Ekene received a frantic call from Ada's brother, Chidi. "Ekene, I've made a terrible mistake." Chidi's voice trembled on the other end, sending chills down Ekene's spine. Chidi had accidentally tossed the winning lottery ticket into the fire during a family gathering, mistaking it for a piece of trash. Panic coursed through Ekene's veins as he realized the gravity of the situation. The ticket was gone, along with his dreams. As the weight of the news settled on him, Ekene's mind raced. How could he possibly tell Ada? How could he face the community after such a public display of success? Every corner of his small home felt like it was closing in on him. The vibrant colors of the celebration faded into dark hues of despair as Ekene contemplated how to salvage what remained of his dignity. In a state of turmoil, Ekene decided that he must keep this devastating secret from Ada, at least for now. He concocted a story about a delay in the lottery payments, trying to buy himself time. As he faced his wife, his heart raced, fearing that his facade would crumble at any moment. Ada was busy making plans, her enthusiasm shining through, which only deepened Ekene's guilt. Each day became a balancing act of lies and half-truths as Ekene skillfully avoided conversations about the lottery. He saw the excitement in Ada's eyes and felt the crushing weight of his deception. The laughter of their children filled the air, juxtaposed with Ekene's growing anxiety. As the days turned into weeks, the truth gnawed at him, and the tension in the household began to build, threatening to explode at any moment. As the weeks passed, the excitement surrounding the lottery win began to fade, but Ekene's anxiety only grew. The community was buzzing with stories of how the money would transform his life. Yet, every time he encountered a neighbor or a friend, their excitement reminded him of the lie he was living. He was no longer the man who had won. He was a fraud, hiding in plain sight. With the pressure mounting, Ekene's relationship with Ada began to suffer. She sensed his distance, but attributed it to the weight of responsibility. Meanwhile, Chidi's guilt consumed him, leading to awkward family gatherings where he struggled to maintain a cheerful demeanor. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, and each interaction felt more strained than the last. Ekene's heart raced as he realized that he couldn't keep this up much longer. Just when Ekene thought things couldn't get worse, an unexpected visit from the village chief sent his heart plummeting. The chief had come to discuss the upcoming festival and how Ekene would be a key figure in the celebrations as the lottery winner. The pressure to uphold this illusion intensified, and Ekene's stomach churned at the thought of facing the entire village under false pretenses. As the chief praised Ekene for his good fortune, he couldn't help but feel like a ghost haunting his own life. He smiled and nodded, all while plotting how to avoid the mounting expectations. With the festival approaching, he felt the walls closing in even tighter. The stakes had never been higher, and failure now felt like an inevitable doom lurking just around the corner. The night of the festival arrived, and the village square was alive with laughter and music. Ekene forced a smile, but his heart raced with anxiety. The villagers surrounded him, showering him with praise, and as he looked at Ada, he knew he had to come clean. But how could he ruin this moment for her? The conflict within him grew, and he felt like a prisoner of his own deceit. As the celebration reached its peak, the village chief called for Ekene to speak. Standing before the crowd, Ekene's mind was a whirlwind of panic. Would he tell the truth and risk everything? Just as he opened his mouth to confess, a loud commotion erupted from the crowd, distracting him. In that moment, he realized he wasn't alone in this deception. Everyone was playing a part in a larger drama, keeping the facade alive. Amid the festivities, Ekene found himself face to face with an old friend, Obi, who seemed to know something was amiss. Obi leaned in, whispering, "I know about the ticket, Ekene. You don't have to carry this burden alone." Relief washed over Ekene, but fear quickly replaced it. If Obi knew, who else might find out? Together they retreated from the crowd to discuss how to handle the situation. Obi suggested they seek help from the village elders, who might have insights on how to recover the lost fortune. It was a risky plan, but the thought of going through this alone was unbearable. As they plotted their next steps, the stakes felt higher than ever, and Ekene knew that time was running out. The following day, Ekene and Obi approached the village elders, nervously sharing their predicament. The elders listened intently, their expressions shifting from concern to contemplation. Ekene could feel the weight of their gazes, each one a reminder of his deception. Yet there was a flicker of hope when one elder suggested a community gathering to discuss the situation and brainstorm solutions. As the villagers gathered, Ekene felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. Perhaps the community could come together to find a way to recover the lost ticket. Yet, as they shared stories and ideas, a shadow of doubt crept in. What if the villagers turned against him? The tension was palpable, and Ekene's heart raced as he realized he might have to face the truth sooner than he thought. The community gathering took a surprising turn when a villager, fueled by curiosity, asked Ekene directly about the ticket. The question hung in the air, thick with tension. In that moment, all the weight of his lies came crashing down. Ekene felt like a deer caught in headlights, and he struggled to respond without revealing the truth. As whispers began to ripple through the crowd, Ekene's stomach twisted in knots. Suddenly, Chidi stood up, his face pale with guilt. "I know what happened," he blurted out. Gasps echoed around the square, and Ekene felt his heart plummet as Chidi recounted the tale of the burned ticket. Ekene braced himself for the backlash. The villagers were in shock, and the atmosphere shifted from curiosity to outrage. Just as Ekene prepared for the worst, a mysterious figure emerged from the crowd. An old woman stepped forward, revealing herself as a former lottery organizer. "The winning ticket you think is gone is not the only ticket," she announced. Gasps filled the air as she revealed that there were multiple winners, and the money was still accessible if they could find the right ticket. Ekene's heart raced as the implications washed over him. This revelation changed everything. He realized that his fate was still in his hands, and he could salvage his family's future if they worked together. However, as he turned to share this news with Ada, he caught sight of her face. Her expression was a mix of disbelief and anger. She felt betrayed, and Ekene knew he had to earn back her trust. In the wake of the shocking twist, Ekene decided to take responsibility for his actions. He rallied the community, sharing the news about the multiple winning tickets and the potential to recover their fortunes. Together, they began a search for the lost tickets and to rectify the chaos that had ensued. The sense of unity among the villagers began to blossom as they worked together to uncover the truth. As Ekene and Ada joined hands in the search, he felt hope returning. The once familiar bonds of their community grew stronger, and Ekene found himself at the heart of a movement that had the potential to change everything. He realized that the true fortune lay not in the money, but in the relationships he had nearly sacrificed for a moment of greed and desperation. After days of searching, the villagers finally uncovered the ticket hidden beneath the ashes of Chidi's mistake. As they gathered in the village square, excitement filled the air once more. Ekene held the ticket high, his heart swelling with gratitude and relief. He turned to Ada, who smiled through her tears, understanding the journey they had taken together.